Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a cut crease a very simple way. I've seen a lot of people doing cut creases. I know they're really hard to do. I know when I first did them I struggled like with the shape especially. Getting a clean line is really hard. And you just know where to place it on your eye. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do what I do. So I usually don't do this, but I did just discover this little technique. So when I was coloring my eyelashes, I was just looking at myself in the mirror and I was just thinking like, that's like the perfect shape. I just looked at this right here and I'm like, that's like the perfect shape of my eye. I was like, wait, that looks like a cut crease shape. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna try and use this to do a cut crease. So I put some concealer right on here. I stamped it on and there was an outline and I was shook. And it's awesome because it's super easy, you know. This it's just that shape of an eye. If you're into makeup, most likely you have eyelash curler, and so you already have this tool. You probably already have concealer, so it's just so convenient. All right, so I'm not gonna do a full glam look today because I just don't have time. But I am gonna show you on one eye. I mean, it's just gonna show you. I'm just gonna demonstrate it, and you guys will totally understand it and get it. So I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I've only used this once, and it was a shimmery shade. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I've actually ever used this. No, I've used this once and it was like one of these shades. But let's go ahead and use this. Y'all can use anything, of course, whatever you have, whatever look you're going for. Alright, this isn't going to be much of like a makeup tutorial, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. I'm going to take Desert Sand and Eden, mix those together, put in my crease as a transition shade. And wow, these have a lot of kickback. I've never used these matte shades before. Okay, let's just go ahead and pop this one. So I'll kind of tell you guys how I do a cut crease. If you guys don't know about cut creases at all, or if you haven't really done one, I'll kind of show you guys how to do one as well, as far as like the eyeshadow portion. So you kind of want to start off with however you would normally do eyeshadow with your transition shade. Since I have hooded lids, I do bring my cut crease higher. I know some people will put concealer on their eyelid and like look up and look around and stuff, which does work. But if you don't have a hooded lid, it's not going to work for you. I've tried doing that as well. It's not my favorite technique. I like to just freehand it. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this in my crease. So go ahead and do that. With the cut crease, like I was saying before, I do put everything a little bit higher. And I do like to drag in the crease shades right into the inner corner a little bit. I usually do half cut creases. So I definitely want to make sure that there's some depth right here. So when I do cut the crease, that it contrasts with my crease, if you know what I mean. I will show you guys. So I'm going to grab Amber right here. Put that a little bit lower. So when I do cut creases, I like to build up depth and intensity. So this is going to go just a little bit lower. I'll start with the lightest shade and then go down to the darkest. And the darkest shades usually will go deeper down into the crease. If you don't have a lot of eyelid space, I would recommend just putting about one color, maybe two. I would say maybe like transition shade and like a main crease shade. If you don't have a lot of shade or a lot of space to do all this blending and all this layering, I always lucky enough to get a good amount of eyelid space, or crease space, I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna go with saffron right here. This is gonna be super intense. This is gonna be like my deepest, darkest shade. I'm gonna mix a little bit of saffron and amethyst. I'm going to put that right down into that crease. Right at the deepest part. These are so pigmented. I'm actually shook. I love this palette. Alright, I'm going to go back in with a clean blending brush and go back in with that transition shade and put that just right at the top. So it kind of went away a little bit. Boom. We are smoked and blended to filth. So now I'm going to go with the cut crease portion. Alright, so what you're going to do is take your eyelash curler. Boom, got it, okay. Mine's by House of Lashes, if you're wondering. It doesn't have to be any specific brand. It don't got to be fancy, just got to be the shape of your eye. So I'm going to take a liquid concealer. This is Urban Decay Naked Skin. Like any concealer you want. I would suggest a full coverage concealer. Something that's a little bit more creamy and liquidy. Not something that's more creamy, I guess. The more liquidy it is, the easier it is to work with. So I'll go ahead and take the eyelash curler. So what you're going to do is place it up to your eye, right? And if you want a half cut crease, if you want it like just like right in the front, if you want it right in the middle, a little bit more like on the end, you want to kind of put it on your eye and see like how far you should kind of put it on the eyelash curler. So let me just look. I think I'm going to do it like 2/3 of the way. So it'll be starting at this inner corner. So what you're going to do is take the eyelash curler and then put concealer on it. Just going to paint it on about 2/3 of the way. Boom. And you kind of want to make sure you get a good amount on there. So that makes a good stamp. It's basically a stamp, you know. And you don't got to buy anything. You already have it, most likely. Alright, so go ahead and just carefully do this. Make sure you put it like, make sure you have it placed correctly before you push it into your eye. So what I'm going to do is push a little bit above my natural crease, my little fold. I do have hooded lids, so I'm going to do it right above that. So what I'm going to do is turn it a little bit this way so that it gets the inner corner. And I'm just going to put it right here and stamp it on. And boom. So there you have the outline. Alright, so while the concealer is still wet, you want to take a flat concealer brush and you're going to go ahead and just kind of finish the line right here. So whatever is still on the, or like whatever you did the cut with. So you're just going to drag that down. Right into the inner corner, pull that over, and then just kind of pull the rest of it down. You can go ahead and refine it a little bit if you would need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the rest of that down. You can also just put more on, honestly. So I'm just going to take more off of the little concealer thingy brush, whatever. So when I do half a cut crease, what I do is I do about, I would say maybe almost 2/3 of the way, and then I'll start to blend it away. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this a straight line right here. And what I'll do is take my finger while it's still wet and I'll just tap it, make sure it's blended out. That's the easiest way to blend out a cut crease, like the end of a half cut crease. And boom, she's blended to filth. So if you're going to put shimmer on your cut crease, you can go ahead and keep it wet. It'll kind of help the shimmer eyeshadow stick and be more pigmented. But if you're going to put a matte on, I would suggest the same tone as your concealer, or maybe a little bit brighter, like whatever. Something that's very similar to it. So what I'm going to do is put a shimmer on it. So I'm just going to keep it wet however it is. So my favorite brush to cut a cut crease with is the Anastasia 18 brush. But I don't like to pack on eyeshadow with this because it's just too thin. I feel like it doesn't grab enough of the eyeshadow. I like something a little bit more fluffy, a little bit more thick, but still that has a nice like edge that's really sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Twilight from the palette right here in the center. Boom. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack that on top of the concealer. Actually going to use my finger for this just because this eyeshadow isn't performing well without it. This is a duochrome eyeshadow, so it doesn't have like a base color really. So if you're going to use your finger, I suggest just doing the center and then going in with a brush and doing the edges to make sure you keep that line very clean. Did all that, you don't want to do all that work for nothing. So if you want more depth into the crease right above where you cut it, since sometimes I don't know where I'm going to put my crease, I can't exactly determine where it's going to be at. I don't blend my dark shades high enough. So if you ever have that issue, you want it to be more contrasty, go ahead and take a pencil brush or an eyeliner brush is what I'm using. And go ahead and take your darkest shade and go ahead and Put that on the brush, and then you want to go right up against that line and just create more depth on that. Make sure your biggest thing right here is you don't want to mess up that line. You want to keep it as sharp as possible. And it helps to rest your pinky on your face if you are having trouble with like being precise. If you're curious, this is the Delium Tools 710 brush. So as you can see, it's already adding more depth and contrast on that crease. And by adding more depth right here, you're gonna make that cut crease pop a little bit more. So after you've already done that like base part, you can go with another small brush, a little bit bigger, still something that's a little bit fluffy, and go right above that line. You don't want to touch this against the cut crease or else it's gonna mess it up. This is the Morphe M515. Alright, so I'm going to finish the outer corner. Go ahead and take those crease shades. You can put a different shade out here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to. I'm just going to go ahead and take the purple right here and mix a little bit of the red in. I want more purple. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outer crease, or the outer V, I should say. And this can just blend with the shimmer shade or whatever shade you put there. You definitely want to make sure those are blended together. Y'all, I am loving this palette. This shit blends nice. Sometimes you gotta go back and forth between that crease color and this to make sure that you don't, if you blend away some of this, make sure you don't put back in. Sometimes you gotta go back and forth and just, you know, play with it. And I like to just kind of wing it out a little bit. Make sure it's blended with the crease. And a tip is for holding your blending brushes at the very end. It's going to give you a soft touch, a soft hand. And it's really going to help things blend and make sure you're not heavy-handed. If you're curious, this is the Anastasia A25 brush, one of my favorite blending brushes ever. Alright, so here is the eyelid completed and everything. Not too hard, pretty simple I would say. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish the eye. I'm going to mix in, actually I'm going to put in just amethyst underneath the lash line with a little pop of purple. So I'm going to run that right here. Alright guys, so here's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video on how to do a cut crease with an eyelash curler. This is really simple. Everyone has an eyelash curler for the most part. If you don't, these are only a few dollars. You can pick these up anywhere at like any drugstore, Walmart, online, you know, anywhere. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you try this out and it helps you, let me know. I have a feeling this isn't going to be for everybody, but I know if you at least try it, it might help you out. So if you do, let me know if it works out for you. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I'm watching you. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Deuces.